Hello everyone, my name is Darian Ellis and I'm here with the Houston 100 powered by the Minority Report. Today my guest is Chef Chris Williams, owner and CEO of Lucille's restaurant here in Houston. Please introduce yourself to our viewers.
Hello, Chef Williams here. Glad to be here.
So Chef, I'm just going to jump right in. I know that you named Lucille's after your great grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about her influence on you in food.
Well, she was a pioneer and a trailblazer and one of the country's first female entrepreneurs. So she authored her cookbook in 1941. She started her business in 1913. She came up with the nation's first instant hot roll mix, which we sell the original recipe at the restaurant now. Her client list included everybody from Joe Louis, Martin Luther King, Muhammad Ali, Lyndon Johnson. Her products were serviced or featured on American Airlines for their first class passengers for years. And she ran Camp Waldemar, and she was the first black national food editor through Sepia magazine, which then turned into Ebony. So it's just, and the list just goes on and on. So
Miss Lucille was on top of her game.
Yeah. So it was easy for us to name the restaurant as a tribute to her because with 15,000 restaurants in the city, or at least it used to be 15,000 restaurants, it helps if you have a true story to go along with your product.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know you were classically trained at Le Cordon Bleu in Austin. So tell me more about that, especially as being a black chef, the impact that made on you.
Well, I always tell people that we were, Le Cordon Bleu and myself, we were mutually unimpressed with each other.
Speak more about that.
I mean, it was a brand new program. I mean, I got a few knife skills out of there, but nothing about being an entrepreneur and nothing about relevant cuisine. Like, it's all caught up in that French heavy sauce BS, which nobody's doing that.
Okay.
Nobody that's succeeding is doing that, at least.
So you feel like you stepped away from that and were really able to pioneer your own way.
Yeah, absolutely. Because from there, I went and worked in Europe for 4 years, from everywhere from London, Lithuania, and that's where I really learned. And then in kitchens all up and down the East Coast in Canada and all that stuff.
So I know personally that I think the statistic is 60% of restaurants fail in the first year. How are you able to keep it afloat and be successful?
Well, the one thing that an old adage that I've always lived by is like, businesses don't die, entrepreneurs quit.
Oh, okay.
And so we weren't making money for a long time. Like, when I opened up, I planted these 2 trees in the backyard. One was it's a kumquat tree, and the other one's a satsuma orange. And just like the business, it took about 6 years for them to bear fruit. So it's just having to be creative, find a way to keep your costs down, work every single day, because you are the labor. And so we were able to survive and now thrive.
Okay, well, I really enjoy Lucille's, but what really intrigues me about you and your business is how philanthropic you are. Can you please speak more about the nonprofit that you created, 1913?
Yeah, so Lucille's 1913, we created that. We started the work as soon as the pandemic happened, and we thought about, or started, because it's not like it's over, but when I thought about the communities, impoverished communities around Houston, and specifically Sunnyside, and I was thinking about the elders that are being cut off from their families due to the risk that they pose, with this specific virus. So we started feeding the community over at Anna Dupree, which had 127 residents, 5 days a week. And the thing with philanthropy is, like, it's addictive. You know what I mean? You do good, you can see how it's being received, you see how important it is. Even if it's just a small difference, it's a difference.
Right.
And so I got the bug, and so we went from doing, 127 meals a day to now we're doing just under 1,500 meals a day.
Wow.
We've donated over 85,000 meals, and we've funded this. And I know how to do restaurants like all day easy, but fundraising and this nonprofit stuff, it's a different thing.
It's completely fine.
Yeah, it's a different thing. But yeah, and so the lesson from that is like, the investment in community. Like, you want to invest in community, and when you do that, the community ultimately will reciprocate that investment. And that's why I think our business is doing so well right now.
I completely agree with you. I'm personally just impressed by you, and I really appreciate all the work that you're doing. I know during COVID, and just to say 2020 threw everyone for a loop. But one of the things that really stood out to me about you and your business was you started a patio pop-up series for other businesses. And I just thought that was amazing because you didn't have to do that. Why was that important for you?
Well, so I knew we all knew what the situation was going to be like. So when the pandemic first started, I would feed my staff, and I'm proud to say we didn't furlough one person off our team. We kept
Wow.
everybody working and even hired 16 more people.
Oh my goodness.
But every
wow.
day I would go to a different small independent restaurant and buy lunch for my entire team. And so it'd be like, $400 a day. We go and support different restaurants. And so that was always in my head. And then so when the bars opened up for 3 weeks and then had the rug pulled out from underneath them because this government didn't know what the hell they were doing, I thought about our patio and how it's an opportunity, to let them come and do their thing, and also it's be good for business because then we get to cross market. I get to get in front of their audience, they get in front of mine, and so we did 16 different bars over 16 weeks, and by the end of the program, they took $42,000 directly in their pockets.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's dope.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So please let us know what projects you're working on. I'm intrigued myself.
Well, so we're still continuing the work of doing the 1,500 meals a day, and we're looking to add another 750 as we open up another kitchen in 5th Ward with the 1913 initiative. And then for December 23rd, we're partnering up with Emancipation Park because we had this idea of feeding 1,000 families around Christmas time, which would be like 5,000 meals. And then I started speaking with the board of directors over at Emancipation Park. And Ramon Manning, who's been a long-time friend of Lucille's, he was like, I like 5,000, but what I really like is 10. I was like, yeah, of course you like it because you're not cooking any of this stuff, but I got you. Okay. So let's
I'm
do
doing
10.
all the work.
Yeah, so we're gonna drop 10,000 meals probably over the course of 2 to 3 days over to Emancipation Park. So yeah, that's the next big hairy thing that we're doing.
Chef Williams, I'm truly inspired, and thank you for all of your hard work. Please let our viewers know where they can find you and your businesses and organizations.
Okay, well, Lucille's is still in the Museum District of 5512 La Branch. The website's lucilleshouston.com. And then if you want to support 1913, it's lucilles1913.org. There's 100 different ways to donate, then plenty of volunteer opportunities. And if you don't want to donate directly, you can always just come by the restaurant, treat yourself to whatever you want, and I'll take those dollars from there and put it into the nonprofit like I've been doing.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Chef Williams. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. Again, I'm Darian Ellis here with the Inspiring Houston 100, making big differences in our community, and we're powered by the Minority Report. Stay tuned with us.